and then suddenly having that break.
Well, for me, it's like goes back to this whole thing of people have so many problems with their health, and they just learn to accept that feeling shit is normal.
The foundation of it all is people are wanting more. They're questioning the way that we have been brought up, our conditionings, our society, the norm of how we should live and how we should be. And people are going back to basics and saying, actually, no, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to have this conventional life. I want more. I want to know who I am and what my purpose is and how I can make the world a better place. It comes with unschooling yourself.
There's
like
a cover
a
over
frame,
it.
and then there's a natural canopy of kiwi coming over the top, or different vines, different crawlers.
So what you want to do is you want to sit in your house tank and you want to eat grapes off the vines from the
Basically,
ceiling.
kiwis, grapes, passion fruit. Why not?
Love it.
We want to be rich in land, we want to be rich in experience, we want to be rich in
Health.
And knowledge.
Time as well, and for yourself, innit? And
yeah, where you put your energy. Time and energy is precious, and it's something you can't get back. Welcome to Quinta de Lobo. This is our farm. Woo! It could grow like this way, over it. But better planting like hops vines or something on the top of terrace. And then just sending them right down over. We met each other traveling in New Zealand. We all worked on a kiwi orchard together, which was really fun, actually living in our vans next to the river and working on an orchard for a few months while traveling. Our ideas, we were constantly around the campfire by the river planning out how and where we would make certain water systems and pond systems and rebuilding houses with clay and natural technique. But you could always start here and extend it this way if you'd like. They turned into something. We manifested the direction that we all wanted to go in, and it just so happened that the direction we were going in is a very similar direction that they're going in. So.
Going this way around, we're going to have like a bookshelf here. This is going to be a built-in kitchen, all open plan. The turntables, vinyl, DJ setups go in there. It's have been like milestones getting the floor in to then be able to attack this height. When the fires happened, there was a big tree here. There was the stone pine. So the canopy of that tree, I'd imagine, would be quite big up top. And this would have been right in the roof of the house almost, the canopy there, you can imagine it. So when that's on fire, this had fell here, and some of the ruins around here, the roofs get burnt when the fire happened, but we actually lost this whole wall.
We didn't know whether it was going to be in a year, 3 years, 5 years, but it was just like a clear vision. So we started to do a lot of research, and I was reading a lot of blogs, and it was talking a lot about the forest fires in 2017 and how it really impacted the community, Portugal in a whole, and yeah, of course, the nature.
The 2017 fire season in Portugal was the most destructive since reliable records began. Persistent drought and storm winds from Hurricane Ophelia caused fires to spread at incredible speeds. Throughout the year, 500,000 hectares of forest burned, thousands of people lost their homes, and 114 people were killed.
And this was where the fire mainly tore through. So the further we got to our destination in Portugal, the more clear it became of how serious this fire had been. my first initial thoughts was imagine building something and harmonising with the landscape and the nature, and then literally in one day it could just be gone. It kind of made us feel that we needed to be here, we needed to be implementing all we had learnt and all we can give back.
So yeah, pine don't survive, but because these have been protected by the oaks, they've survived the fire. These guys here that are already bigger than the oaks are like 3 or 4 years old. They weren't even here when we were here. But look how fast they've grown. And that's it, it will return one day.
You could pick anywhere in the world, you could go to the most luscious, beautiful part of the world and you could decide to be there, but then does it really need us? Probably not, you know, it's probably better without us. Whereas here, I feel we really are needed, like our work is needed. We need to care for the earth, we need to give back, we need to rewild, we need to regenerate, not just the landscape, but also ourselves. I think it's a very important part of the process. So basically this is ours and this is the border. And this is where they've chopped all the trees down to make a vineyard, which is really sad. They chopped trees that survived the fires, like 70-year-old oak trees. But then on this side you have luscious green paradise that's going to keep growing and growing and growing.
It looks like someone's had this idea before you. Have you found that anywhere else on the land?
We have, yeah, we've like thought, oh, there's going to be some stairs here, imagining, you know, like, and at the minute it's just all overgrown, mud has, you know, washed down and whatnot. And we thought, yeah, some stairs here, dug away, and then found some stairs. Like, sweet. Literally at the chickens.
Permaculture in general is a very holistic system and way of looking at land and the environment that you're living in and how you can integrate yourself into it rather than completely control it.
I've been making these into sculptures and stuff. As you've seen, these become dream catchers. It's just a circle. Perfect dream catcher. Even got a hook to hang it up now.
Read nature and work alongside nature and help improve the ecology naturally in regeneration, rewilding, permaculture. There's really lots of buzzwords for kind of very similar concepts of just coming closer again to nature.
This part here has just been cleaned and is getting ready for a tank. We've got various ponds and tanks planned and mapped out throughout the land, so it's essential to have water for the fires, for protection. To rewild this place we need to irrigate the land to grow the trees and the vegetation we want. So yeah, these are essential. And the plan is this one's going to be a brick tank because it's easier to navigate and manage. Yeah, with the water we get that up through a ram pump. That's a mechanical pump. This is fed by gravity through a waterfall we have further down the land. And with this gravity we have like a non-return valve and it pumps the water like 150 metres and maybe 30 to 40 metres height. Look at that.
Filmmakers are doing really well, aren't they?
That's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. You can see the growth there, one to there to there, and the rest. 3 years, boom.
What we are doing to help the forest is letting the forest be, implementing different waterways through the land, harmonising, mimicking nature, putting swales and hugels, which is using a lot of the burnt wood from the trees and creating mounds to slow the water down so the new trees can really get all the nutrients. It doesn't all wash away because here the weather is you have summer which is extremely hot and then you can have the winter which is not so cold but we can have a lot of rainfall. So you can imagine the soil is getting burnt and then the rain is coming and it's just washing all the nutrients away. So it gives the new trees a chance to flourish. And we're also using a waste product from the forest, which is the dead wood. You know, some people might burn it or whatnot, but we're actually putting it into the soil, so doing a whole cycle.
This is a jacaranda, which we've harvested the seeds from just different places. They don't have it in towns in Coimbra and Porto. Beautiful violet flower and foliage, so it cuts through the landscape well good.
I'm planning out the garden. So we put the 4 that we've got, and then we just need another big one, and 1, 2, 3.
Say the steps come down.
This is the closest terrace next to the house, and also it's the terrace that has the most rock underneath. We can't plant directly into it, so the plan is here to have many raised beds. A lot of our seed we collect from friends. We try to do seed swaps and seeds exchange because this is where it begins. It's completing the full cycle. For us, it's really important. It's not just growing the vegetables and eating the vegetables, it's everything else in between. So letting things go to seed, after that collecting the seed and continuing the cycle. We're finally at a point now where everything we're implementing is making life much easier, and the dream is eventually all these things that we do will become very easy, but for now it's not easy. You know, everything takes time, effort, energy and money.
And yeah, it's giving people the chance and the opportunity, like we got given, to be free in a creative space, see how it works. Fundamentally, the project, how you've always got to be on your toes thinking. Giving people a nice environment to feel themselves, feel creative, really see what the project's about, and hopefully they get inspired to do this in the future. This place will have an abundance of things we can offer to people in exchange, and that's what it's about as well. We don't plan to eat all the fruit on these trees ourselves, we want to share with everyone else.
For us, the dream would be is hold courses, so whether that be full-time or just a flying visit to experience this. We would love to host people and have people stay with us. Maybe do some farm-to-table kind of vibe of harvesting from the garden and creating dishes, learning and observing, and for us to spread the knowledge. And also for me, it would be amazing to be able to have some retreats and workshops in Reiki and different alternative healing practices.
We have short lives, and to just live them to the fullest is my philosophy anyway. I can get really caught up in fear, having to know exactly where this money is going to come from or how this project's going to go to then get us to the next step. You know, you need to read your land, you need to have a little bit of an idea of what you could do in certain places. There are so many ways that you can help in the world of regeneration and rewilding and coming a little bit back to the roots of humans and closer to nature. Making decisions about how you purchase and consume, that is super powerful. There's so many beautiful examples of people using plots that are not their own and doing market gardens and doing things in very small spaces, stacking gardens, using aquaponics. There's so many ways to utilize space to grow food for yourself.
I think the hardest parts are the things that people don't see. Everyday life of doing this kind of life is not simple and it's not easy, from making sure we have enough water in the tanks, to emptying the compost toilet, to feeding the chickens, to watering the gardens, to watering the trees when you've not got proper irrigation yet, because proper irrigation costs money.
Whoa, what's in their bag?
What, in that bag?
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to be pissed.
Nurture. This is nature.
What you put in is what you'll get out, and anybody thinking of doing this and living this kind of life, yeah, just do it. Just jump right in, learn as you go. It won't be easy, it will be very difficult, but it'll be so rewarding, as waking up to the sounds of the birds, watching the sunrise, watching the sunset, the little things.
I think you've got a pretty good solution, Nigel.
Shadows of the sun, but Uncle Pain's